Hey guys, I'm Chez and this is Chez M0i. Welcome back to my channel on Christmas Day 2022. Now by the time this video uploads, it won't be Christmas anymore, but I'm going to cheers you guys and wish you a very Merry Christmas and all the best for 2023. Cheers. Now, guys, before I get into this video, I want to just state for the record that I do not work for ITV in any capacity. They don't know I'm doing this video. They don't know me. Okay, I'm not getting paid. This is not a paid promotion or sponsored ad. I'm coming to talk to you today about this show called Riches. I'm not an avid consumer of TV. I have my set TV shows that I watch, but literally I don't have time to watch TV. But this show grabbed my attention. And that's why I want to come and talk to you about it today, because it's very rare that we see our people portrayed in such a different way. And when you see the trailer, you'll understand if you haven't seen it already. But instead of me talking too much, what follows next is an interview by the Loose Women with Deborah Ayorinde, who plays the lead character in this show. She plays a character called Nina Richards, and she's going to explain the plot, and then I'll come back and give my overview.
Of Succession, a gripping look at how money, power and control can break even the closest family ties.
Our father is dead.
I don't care.
That man abandoned us with nothing. Go to London then. See the woman he chose over us.
You think you're safe here? If they want my company, they'll have to fight me for it.
This queen has been to the rodeo before. Don't try to claim it.
We are at war. Whatever it takes, we are going to get back what's ours.
Get ready for glamour, fabulous wealth and plenty of backstabbing. Here to tell us more, it's the star of Riches, actress Deborah Ayorinde. Hey!
Excited about this.
Oh, well, I have to say, Judy was binge-watching it in makeup, on her phone. She is so into it, it's incredible.
I was up from last night, 12 o'clock, waiting for it to land, and I spoke to Abby, and it was like, no, it comes on at 9. So, I mean, for me, there's so much bits about it, but, you know, I'm going to start with what grabs my heart the most is representation.
Yes.
And we know there's shows out there that show a perception of a black experience, but only a particular perception. And what I love about this is that you've got a wealthy black family. Right. Yes, there's different dynamics, but you've got America and England coming together. How did you feel when you saw this script?
No, honestly, I mean, for me, when I first read the script, what I was drawn to the script for was because it reflects so much of my own personal story. Being Nigerian, being born in London, moving to America, moving back to London, and also the representation as well. You know, seeing, you know, Africans, Caribbeans, African Americans, just all in one place. Because it really shows that no group of people are a monolith. You know, no group of people are one or two or three ways. It's very truthful to who we are as people. We're diverse.
So it's quite groundbreaking because maybe it's of its first then.
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's the first time that I've seen a show like this out on UK television.
Yeah, particularly UK television. I think perhaps in America, you know, we've spoken about this before, Judy, that there's greater representation, but in the UK, I mean,
But the funny thing is even when we did a screening in New York, a lot of people came up to us in tears almost, just saying how they felt seen and they felt represented. So even though, you know, this type of show is in the US more, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like this is really groundbreaking.
So tell us a bit about it then, because I mean, it's like Dynasty.
It looks so juicy.
It is juicy.
It is juicy, isn't it?
Juicy.
Yes. Judy was literally screaming all the way through. Oh no!
Yeah,
Which is
it's
what we love.
juicy and slick.
So where's the juice in it then?
Okay, so the juice. I'm trying not to give you too much because you need to binge it. But so a family, they've built this beauty empire out of the UK, and when the father dies, they're fighting over the wealth and control of this empire.
Oh, love it.
And so I play Nina Richards, a lead that has been tapped to be the new CEO, which upsets quite a few people.
Oh, it's quite Dynasty Dallas. Is it?
Am I
getting that vibe?
It does.
It is really juicy. It's messy. We look fabulous and sexy.
Is there sex? I was going to say as well.
It's sexy. You know it's sexy. It has to be sexy. So it really
In the
is.
first episode. I was like, girl.
Oh, that's why you kept rewinding.
So hang on, how does our Judy get into it? I think we've got a little clip. I hope this is PG, Judy. Let's have a look.
The face of Flair. Now, I don't know about you, but the face of Flair is a big thing in my house, yeah? Right? And I want to know who's going to be the winner. Is it going to be the lighty with the blue eyes? Or will it be the sister queen with the 3C curves? But seriously, though, Flair and Glory is the real deal. Growing up, it's that brand that makes you realise black can be mainstream.
Oh, you know what?
Actually, seeing you watch back, do you ever watch yourself back on screen in general?
So the funny thing is I usually watch myself for like 1 or 2 times, and then I just can't, because I'm really critical of my work.
Sure, yeah.
But this one, I actually forget I'm watching myself, and I probably watched it from beginning to end so far probably like 6 times.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big, big deal, because that never happened. Even
Why
my
do you think
mum
that
said-
is, then?
Because it's so addictive. Like, the show's really, really good. I mean, I love all of my work, but this is really juicy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget certain things that are in the script.
So you're shouting at the screen.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, oh my God, wait, you know, so it's really, really exciting.
And you said in there, even my mum. What were you going to
You know, even my mum, like, because I would be at her house and I would say, okay, let's watch it, you know, and she'd be like, really? Because she's always bugging me to, like, watch my stuff, and I'm like, no. But this time I've watched it so many times with her, and I feel so proud.
How does your mum feel? Because, you know, you talk a lot about how your mum encouraged you as a child. How does she feel seeing you, as we just said, black can be mainstream? How does she feel about that?
She is constantly pinching herself. You know, when I first got the screeners, because oftentimes the cast, we get, you know, screeners before it comes out to everyone else. And I actually watched it with my mum, my grandmother, and my older sister. And to see all of them, like, enjoy it, different generations of women.
Got goosebumps.
And my grandma, like, she knows what I do, but she didn't really know what I do. And so whenever they would speak Yoruba, like, she would just like, wait, so is that? You know, it just...
Speak Yoruba?
So, yeah, it's a Nigerian language, it's my tribe, you know.
And it's in the show, isn't it?
It's in the show.
And
it's in the show. And so she really followed along, which was that has never happened to me in my career. So,
do you know what? I've seen one episode and I'm ready for season 2.
Listen, people have been on my social media about season 2, and I'm like, can you just let it come out in the UK first? Like, it's beautiful. The reception is beautiful.
And you get on great with the cast as well, which is so lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, they really are like my family. Like, I actually saw them last night. So we hung out and we had a good time. Yeah. Next time, I got you next time. But yeah, I love them. They're such a great group of people.
I was reading some great reviews of it this morning, and the reviewer said, I predict a massive fan base. So I think we'll be hearing a lot more about
we'll be
Richard.
watching.
Deborah, thank you so much. Have a lovely Christmas when it comes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, so you know roughly what the story's about. And I just want to tell you what I thought of it, my impressions of the show, what stood out for me. So the things that I loved about this show were, firstly, the cultural references. It was a mix of Nigerian, Caribbean, and Black British culture, all in one show. This type of show you would usually see in America. This type of quality, this type of production is usually American. I've never seen anything like this produced in the UK. So I was pleasantly surprised. The fact that you've got all of these elements of our culture in this show, it had me hooked within the first 5-10 minutes, and I binge watched the whole series. Series 1 comprises 6 episodes, and I watched the whole thing until about 3:30 this morning. Who told me to do that? But when I tell you that I was hooked, I was actually hooked. So you got the different elements, the different backgrounds. You've got the cultural references. You've got them talking about jollof rice. You've got the Nigerian aunties. I mean, my former husband is Nigerian, half Nigerian. So all of those things, they're familiar to me. Even the bowing as well. There's a scene where Nina goes to see one of the shareholders, and she's she's a Nigerian auntie, and she bows when the lady opens the door. And that made me laugh because I have stories about that. I'm not going to share those with you right now, but that made me smile. The kissing of the teeth, the talking about the bald edges, they're talking about relaxers and all of these things, so familiar, and it was so refreshing. It's like, wow, finally something that I can truly identify with, and the music was, some of the artists I don't know. These guys are younger, the same age as my daughter. I'm not going to know them, but I love music. So the different types of music, the different elements of family, the family feuds, the plot twists, all of it in one big pot, one big melting pot, literally. So with regard to people you may recognise, Patricia Bright was mentioned in this show. If you're a social media follower, I'm not a consumer of social media like that, but I know who Patricia Bright is. Candice Brathwaite was on screen in one of the scenes. Paula Sutton from Hill House Vintage, she had a cameo appearance, and that shocked me. I was shocked. I was pleasantly shocked. With regard to other people you may know, Judy Love makes a cameo appearance. Omar is a character in the show. Omar from, his song, There's Nothing Like This. If you used to go clubbing back in the 90s, and if you live in London, you know Oasis. I think it's in Dalston. My friend Gina and I used to go there every weekend, and that's one of the last songs that they would play. So apparently he's an actor now, and I didn't know that until I had a conversation yesterday with someone, and they said that Omar's been in EastEnders. I haven't watched EastEnders for a very long time, so I didn't know that. But to see him in this show, Riches, I was impressed, and to see our people portrayed with wealth and luxury, surrounded by luxury, and almost like we weren't seen as domestic servants. It was like the tables had turned, so we were not seen in those roles. The people that normally are in those roles were the domestic help, like the driver and the maid, the housekeeper, all of these things. And I literally cannot wait for season 2. I don't know when they're going to film that. I hope it's soon. I wish that they had shown it on the mainstream channel, not the streaming service. However, I think I understand why they did that, because they want to test the water. Because typically black shows they're not received well when it's a majority black cast. I say majority black cast because in this show you've got Hermione Norris from Cold Feet, the lady with the short blonde hair from Cold Feet. You've also got Brendan Coyle. Now his face looks familiar, but I can't remember what I've seen him in. And you have a couple of other white characters, and the whole blend was perfect. and you've got the transition between New York and London. When you'll watch it, you'll understand why. And you've got the the backstabbing, all of these elements, and it centers around the father of all of these kids, played by Hugh Kwashi. And yeah, I can't talk too much because I don't want to give it away. I need you guys to go and watch this show. As I said, I have nothing to do with ITV. They're not paying me anything. But from a cultural point of view, I want us to see ourselves as, you know, I want us to see ourselves in a luxurious environment. That's what I want. I'm fed up of seeing us portrayed as down and outs, struggling, single parents. I mean, all of that is true. But to see yourself with wealth, with the ability to control things in your life and progress in life, it was a refreshing change. Two of the scenes that stood out for me was when Alicia, one of the siblings, she was in a designer store, I think it was a shoe shop, and she was waiting for the SA to come and assist her, whatever she was doing. So in the meantime, two white ladies came in, and one of them picked up a shoe, and she wanted the other shoe. So she looks at Alicia and she says, "Can you get me this in a 4?" So Alicia looks her up and down and she says no. She literally says no, because at the time you don't know what the scenario is. Alicia's just in the shop. So I was like, okay, what's this? So the lady gets annoyed now. She says, "I want this in a 4. Go and get it, or go and get your manager." Words to that effect. So Alicia's just like this, you know, she doesn't even answer. By which time the SA comes and she says, "Oh, Miss Richards, we're ready for you now. Would you like to come with me to the VIP area?" You know, I'm paraphrasing, that's not the exact line. And then Alicia just looks at the two ladies and they've got their mouths open because they don't believe what's just happened. They thought that she worked there, obviously, because that's how we're viewed. So Alicia takes the shoe from the woman, and I don't know whether she dashed it on the floor or whatever, and then she goes with the SA to upstairs or wherever. And the two women have to leave because they're so humiliated and embarrassed. And that's reminiscent of the scene from Pretty Woman when Julia Roberts goes in to the shop, and because she doesn't look the part, the shop assistant basically dismisses her, like, "You're not good enough to come in this shop." It had that feel. So I laughed because I thought, wow, look at this. You're gonna hear me say "look at this" a lot in these videos. And then the other scene that was a standout for me was when Nina, who is played by Deborah Ayorinde, she goes to Zurich and she stays in the hotel which her dad used to stay in before he passed. I don't want to give too much away. And the staff already know her dad, so they've been expecting her. She's at the bar one evening on her own, glam as usual, and a Swiss businessman, I assume it's a Swiss businessman, comes up to her, approaches her, and propositions her, you know, asking her if she's come from such and such, which turns out to be something that she doesn't know about. So he realizes he's made a mistake. He walks away. The bartender is smirking and she's wondering what's going on. And the bartender says the place that he mentioned is an escort service. So she's horrified. And then he goes on to say, "Oh, you know, he thought you were a high-class escort." And she's like, "Oh, yay for me." You know, so again, these are the roles that this is the way that we're viewed. We're viewed as prostitutes, we're viewed as less than. And it was so refreshing to see the roles reversed, you know, that we were in positions of influence, for want of a better phrase. So I'm just, if you're gonna watch anything over the holidays, guys, Riches is the show to watch. Riches is the show to watch. The other thing that stood out for me was when they mentioned the areas of Enfield and Edmonton and where the house is situated. That also was a reference from me as well. And it wasn't Knightsbridge, it wasn't Chelsea, it wasn't Surrey, it wasn't all of these other affluent places, you know, like Cobham, Stockbroker Belt. It wasn't that, it was North London. And then you had the drone footage of the city skyline and where these people live. You know, they have their apartments in the city, overlooking the skyline, overlooking the Thames, just wide shot views and just luxury lifestyle. Money isn't everything, everybody knows that, you know, but it's nice to see us portrayed in that way. And that's why I was hooked, because it's like, I've never seen this before. Like I said, if it was an American show, that would be, I don't think I would have watched it, because I've seen that before. I mean, you've got all these Real Housewives series, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Lagos, all of these things. But this was based in London. This was based in North London, Edmonton, Enfield, rough areas of London. You know, I don't come from an affluent area of London. I'm familiar with these. They used to call them the inner city. These are the urban areas of London where you get knife crime, where you get shootings, muggings, stab, everything. All of these criminal activities take place, but they reference these areas alongside wealth. I've never seen that in the UK. I've never seen a show produced in the UK. You have all these elements of, you know, Nigerian, Caribbean, Black British, all in one. So it's relatable to someone like me. I can identify with these cultural references. I had a smile on my face, and you follow the story and there are so many twists and turns, and you know, you're kept guessing because you don't know who's done what, because when you think you know who's done what, it turns out to be someone completely different. And the cliffhanger at the end of episode 6, I cannot wait for series 2. I can't wait for series 2. I'm going to be watching series 2 when it comes, and I hope they come out with it very soon. So yeah guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your holidays. And yeah, that's one to watch. One to watch before you guys go back to school and go back to work. I don't think you'll regret it. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. When you've watched this show, I want you to come back to this video and comment below what you thought. Tell me what stood out for you. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. And I want to hear, I want to know. I want to know if you guys are as enthusiastic about this show as I am. So with that guys, I'm going to leave you now. Thank you for watching this video, and you shall catch me in the next one.